Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. Now, I know a lot of you are proud of your heritage. You know, there's a lot of nice people out there. Um, I caution you, do not get confused about the difference between being nice and being righteous. Okay? With that being said, the truth is important. We have to tell the truth, no matter who's going to get mad, or else we're not doing God justice, we're not doing society justice, etc. People who consider themselves serious Christians, okay, shouldn't be the only ones who understand that the way is the truth, and the life is the righteous and just life in terms of universal conceptions of justice. What everyone should be able to appreciate and know is justice and righteousness right away. Okay. With that being said, people have a problem with their brain function and brain activity, and it's a result of generations of playing stupid and ill-gotten gains on a spectrum. Even people who are homeless have some degree of ill-gotten gains in their lifetime, and you have to consider carefully why that is and work the angles. If this was a critical thinking class, people would figure that out to a large degree right away, and they'd know I'm right. Okay. So, again, people have a problem because of epigenetics, right? Generational changes, evolution, de-evolution, if you will, with their brain functions and brain activity as a result of generations of playing stupid. Okay? For example, if you play stupid about the fact that working out helps with cognition, you know, brain function, brain activity, okay, you know, various exercises, especially aerobic exercises, okay, as a family, for generations, it's going to affect you. If you play stupid about what is moral and what isn't, when morality increases mental clarity, okay, then you're going to have a problem with your thinking skills over time. And that is one of the main problems society has. Now we have to look at what else has occurred, the kind of domino effect. People are playing stupid about what ideal is. This isn't like a beauty contest or a fashion contest or a dog breeding contest. Okay? If you lie about what ideal is and you live that lie, you are going to suffer consequences to various degrees. For example, if you're a rock and roll family, heavy metal family, you have all kinds of piercings and tattoos, and you convince your children that's ideal, they're going to follow in your footsteps, right? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and there's going to be consequences for that. Spiritual, romantic, okay, brain function related consequences, okay, moral, mental, spiritual, and romantic consequences. Okay. So with that being said, let us discuss what is and isn't ideal. Again, I'm not I'm not racist. I'm part black, part white. My dad's from Nigeria. Okay, I don't represent for a powerful racial movement in society. I just tell the truth. Okay, I'm different from everyone else. My kingdom is not of this world. I'm not proud of any culture except for universal pinpoint and moral precision. Okay, this is key in understanding this. So let me go through 5 or 6 quick points. Let's wrap this video up. Point number 1. Quite often people act like white and Jewish and LGBT business people, okay, and religious people that are famous and in the communities and are allowed to have a certain congregation. They act like these people are ideal. They're not. Okay, the white and Jewish business people and the religious people practice Luciferian illusion, right? Mentally ill, ill-gotten gains illusion, whether they admit it or not. Okay, think about what a Luciferian is, and it is first and foremost privileged white, Jewish, and LGBT people. And I'm not trying to bash these people. I'm trying to explain their mistakes and help them correct it before it is too late and my flesh is gone and there's nothing moral they can do. It's just a matter of how evil their actions are. Not if they're evil, but how evil. Because the righteous will have all been taken away. The righteous leadership Therefore, there's no way to come together to gather righteousness and express it. Therefore, all activity becomes evil on a spectrum. Okay. Also consider theater arts, mere social norms, propaganda, psychology, and other forms of deception. Right? Social norms are deception. When people say, hey, how you doing? And so on and so forth, and they don't act like, they don't behave in a way that reflects a deeper understanding of who's more moral than who, and how that makes them have more worth. Moral worth. So I was saying that people need to have moral worth to be great, right? You need high moral worth. That's what makes someone great. If you're not moral, who cares what you invented? Who cares what you've done? You're just what they would say is a piece of shit, right? And who's better, quote unquote, better than who? Who's more good? Who's more holy? Who's more pure? That's actually, who's better than who, right? It's kind of like water, right? The living water of God. The more pure it is, okay, the better. Like the Bible says, the righteous who give way to the wicked are like a polluted well, a polluted source of water, a polluted body of water, okay, instead of the pure and holy water of God. Okay. This next point is a little controversial. I apologize if you're going to be offended, but it has to be said. You see, Asian martial artists are seen as probably the most kind of, in the psychological construct, mind you, probably the most mature and kind of clean and kind of proficient. That's generally how they're seen, right? Not necessarily that they fight the best, but that they do their art the best, right? Something to this effect, okay? So I'm going to bring them up and not the other martial arts, because martial arts like John Jones, there's a stigma from being black and it's unfair and so on and so forth, but it's there. And MMA fighting is seen like a circus thing, and the way he historically enters the match and how he fights is kind of clownish. So there's this kind of clown effect. So in this day and age, they try to make everyone silly and gay and nerdy and various things like this that take away from the possibility of heterosexual and mature masculine appeal. Okay? Even change my voice in my videos. Okay? And that created the situation where Asian martial artists are seen a certain way that other martial artists aren't. Okay. So it's important, as my second point, to point out the Asian martial artists play stupid about the Royal African Falcon Top Martial Arts Order instead of declaring my glory publicly. And it is a mix of fear and ethnocentrism on a spectrum that causes them to do this. And there's a spectrum of it. Okay, it's important. There's a spectrum. There's variations. Okay, not all of them are using the N-word or something. Most of them, I imagine, aren't using the N-word. The vast majority, right? But that kind of, by their actions, they may as well be using the N-word because they're propounding and proclaiming the glory of their system and not giving me my credit. Okay, and a lot of them point to Bruce Lee, maybe Donnie Yen, or some Asian person from their culture, or a system from their culture. Like Koreans might say Taekwondo's the best, Chinese might say Kung Fu the best, Japanese might say whatever. Okay, they might say karate, what have you, right? Budo, the various Japanese martial arts, right? They might say that their systems are the best. They usually do. Especially if they practice those arts. Okay. So what does this mean, right? When martial arts is about building character, right? And this one guy named Master Heel Cho, who is, 10th degree black belt or so, somewhere up there, right? In his book, The Master Kick, he said that, you have to have a willingness to accept and respect those who are greater than you are. Now, when you go into the nature of martial arts in the first place, I'm almost out of time, man. Let me just shoot this. The nature of martial arts is it's war arts. So if you're a coward, you're not a martial artist. I'll say this again. If you are a coward, you're not a martial artist. Okay? You're just a coward who's doing techniques. So if you say, hey, if I give this guy his credit, what's going to happen to me and my family? That's called being a coward. You have to put principle above the flesh, right? As they might say, mind over matter. It's the principle. It's morals. It's character over matter. So when they don't, as a group, say, this guy's the top martial artist, give him fame, give him the admiration of potential wives, give him money, okay, because he deserves it more than everyone else, then they've overkilled that they're not ideal. They're not me. They're not the top martial artists ever, and they won't even do that. So how low did they go, right? No offense to anybody has to be said. Point number 3, the top martial artist ever possible is ideal, and that is me. It is that simple as I have established idealness with focused moral intensity and martial righteousness. This is true mind, body, soul, and spirit. See Proverbs 16:12, Psalm 45, etc. Other people just seek to benefit from large groups sabotaging me, and that is childish and foolish. Okay, see part 2 for some key points.